Alright, as eager as I was, I just started getting to work and didn't record right away, but I'm going to be taking off the carburetor and trying to get this thing tuned because it runs real funky. It needs the it needs to be it needs to choke on, it needs to be enriched. It needs more fuel for the mid to top end to run, and even then when you crack it open, it'll sputter and cough and cut out like it's lean. So, either the jetting's bad or the seals, the intake manifold seals are bad, or all the above. So we're going to be looking at all. Excuse me. We're going to be looking at it all and replacing it all. Just why not? And see if we can get it going, run a little bit better. Okay, so here it is, China Carb. Relatively new, looks alright, looks not so dirty. There's some weird stuff going on here. Smells like fuel, but it's kind of wet on the seal. It's backfiring, so I guess that's normal, but let's get this taken apart. Good thing is I have a CV rebuild kit that I saved. Gonna use it on the Sporty, but Sporty's running fine, doesn't need it. Surprised to see what the jets might be in here. Oh no, no. Uh-oh. Oh no, okay. Bigger tip, a little more torque. Okay, well, good thing is they got more of these screws laying around. Go. Oh, come on, bro. These China carbs are good. They work, especially if you set them up right. But it's not the first time I've done that to those stupid screws. Ooh, yeah, it's mucky in there. Now you see the crap. Doesn't make a good seal surface, I'll tell you that. See if we can read. I don't know, it says 170, I think. 170 high and a 45 low. Let's see if this is a good emulsion tube or rebuild emulsion tube. Rebuild emulsion tube. The Harley one is so much better. Well, there's a bunch of crud on the sealing surface, so let's get rid of the crud. Let's count the AF. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 1/4. 6 1/4 is too much. You should up your jets. I think 170 is probably too small. Well, that or we're getting all kinds of leaks here. So, gonna rebuild this. Got a rebuild kit right here. That should do the trick. Before we go any further, I'm gonna get the gas out of here. Some sort of slow leak in the petcock, so that's gonna need replacing. Alright, well, that's draining. So we can get the tanks off, and then we can get the horn off, and then we can check out the manifold seals. Alright, we're disassembling, and look at what I'm finding. This is tire tube. It's everywhere. Helps with vibrations. I think this is a factory. There was more too. It was holding this from vibrating. I mean, it is rubber. It will help. Looks like there's duct tape in there. Let's get the rest of this off. Let's stop being dumb about it and get the battery disassembled. Let's get to it. Yo. So, got the carb off. It had this weak spring in it, so I put like a stiffer slide spring in it. Kept the needle in there, and it's using like, it's a China Carb, so it uses like the China Carb pieces. So I just gonna use the needle it comes with, you know, and then adjusted the float. The float was super lean, so now the float's right on, and switched the main to a 185. So now I got the air fuel screw back into 3 turns, and I think that's gonna be good. So yeah, China Carb for the win. Replaced the O-ring seals on the accelerator pump, and I think that's gonna be fine. The choke cable was fine, so that's fine. There was a lot of like varnish and stuff all over the like sticky fuel stuff all everywhere, so I cleaned all that up. And it was probably because the air fuel screw was so far out that it was slowly leaking and getting everywhere, making a mess. So we cleaned all that out, and now I'm gonna take the gas tanks off to replace the intake manifold seals, because those are probably crusty and a million years old. So good thing is I have all this stuff left over from having a CV40 Sportster, so life's good. CV40 life is good. We're gonna get going on taking the tanks off now, so catch you later over there. Here we go. I've never done this before, but, well, taking this tank off before. So I drained all the fuel, and I just hope I don't make a mess now. Where's everything? All right. Okay, manifold is off. There is a bunch of black soot in the intakes, and I'm gonna guess that's all from the backfiring. Backfiring it'll ruin the slide this dude in the top of the carb. It heats it up. It starts to melt things in there. You can even melt the screw that holds that on because it's plastic in there. Pro tip, don't put them on dry. Put your gaskets on with some assembly, something that's not going to affect the rubber, but will also help lubricate it, give it a better surface to seat onto. Going in dry could always cause some damage. Us boys, we learn this in life. Us men, we understand this. So apply all that knowledge. Any sort of mating surface, metal on metal, rubber to metal. Oh yeah. Make this thing look a lot better. Anyways, clean this up, and we'll stick it back on with some new seals. All right. Okay, we're gonna take a break because it's 1 in the morning, but got the manifold back on. See you in the morning. Choo! Okay, it's the daytime, and started getting rid of these crusty bars. My dreams last night were about building a motorcycle. I think I'm obsessed. We're gonna get these handlebars off, and we'll come back in a second. Yo, so spark plugs running way too rich. The gap's at 40 thou, so hopefully it was just a lean condition like I thought. So let's get it back together. Then we'll put the new bars on, and we'll put the controls on. Got to figure out how to clean up that front end, definitely. But I guess the first things first is no blinkers. But let's get these back in and wait on those Jeff Bezos parts. Here's my problem I'm running into now. Got to get figured out. These are the throttle cables, and this is like, the drive cable. You see what's going on there? So when I turn the handlebars left, it wants to die. When I turn the handlebars right, it pulls. All right, so here's what I did. I cut the old broken cable off that had the size screw for the drive side. They're just press fit, so you pull that off, and then I'm gonna press it into here. You do that by, when you're getting it free, you have to cut the lead ends off the cables. I drilled a slot and a hole that's kind of as big as one of those balls, and then put the wire in there and pour the hot molten lead into that spot there. How about solder? Can I make a good enough soldering glob on that wire? We'll see. Alright, I took a file, filed that booger down so it would fit in the brass fitting. Should have done this first. Now let's put it together. Okay, that didn't work either. So I took an old idle cable from a Sportster, and then because it's extra long, I cut the ball off, and I'm going to, or I fed that cable through the FXWG, and I cut it longer. I cut it like an inch longer. I'll solder an end on, and then I'm going to run it, and it should work because it was just like a 1/4 inch too short, and it was keeping the throttle open. So yeah, anyways, all I'm doing is getting the solder hot and melting it and putting it in there, and then once it's done, I'm shaping it so it can fit in the brass fitting. That's what we're doing. So I'm gonna get to it. Welcome back. It's the morning, and I dug around in my parts and I found these old Thrashing BMX style bars that I used to run on the stock Sporty. They don't have dimples, but they have slots for pulling your wires through the bars. And I'm just going to use them as dimpled bars so we can be a little more comfortable, ride this thing around, see if this carb is working. And yeah, so I got one side up, the troublesome side, and we're going to put the other side on. So I'm kind of stoked to get going on this project here. I really don't know the direction that I want to take it, but I feel like swing arm chop is the way to go, my friend. Gonna get some slammers, lower that back end down, and I think I might make a nice seat. We'll see how that goes, or I might buy a seat. We don't know. We'll figure it out. Let me get these on. Putting new rubbers on the gas tank. Always got to have new rubbers on you, because why not, you know? You can get them in this like packs off Amazon. Come with the rubber and the insert for nothing. I think it was like less than 10 bucks. All right, let's get these tanks back on. So that took way longer than I thought it did. I don't know how to do this. So it almost took me an hour to get these tanks on, but they're on. And before I button stuff up completely, I'm gonna turn it on. It's in neutral, right? Not starting. Maybe I didn't put enough fuel in. Put it on reserve. I just gotta adjust the idle. Still a little high. Man, it sucks getting to that air fuel mixture screw. I'm gonna call this the end of the intro to the new FXWG. I threw some BMX bars on there for the time being, and cool Arlen Ness flame grips that have actually zero grip. But we'll rock that while we wait for parts to come in. Oops, gotta fix that. Yeah. New wide glide, looking sick, baby. Yeah, so thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you later.